There have been other species of human on this earth. We know this. Some smaller and some bigger. But what about a human 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 times larger than the average person? Check out these discoveries of giant footprints and skeletons that may prove giants really do exist. Number 8. China's giant footprint. In August of 2016, an amazing and unexplainable discovery was made in Guizhou, China. During a hike, photographers stumbled upon a series of marks in the ground that looked eerily similar to the prints made by a human walking barefoot. Nearly 2 feet long and indented nearly 3 centimeters into the ground, the massive footprints likely belong to someone who is over 13 feet tall, according to researchers' estimates. Many dismiss the prints as a hoax, which is understandable, except for the fact that this is not the first time such prints have been discovered. In 1912, a 4-foot-long print was unearthed in South Africa that was dated to be over 200 million years old, suggesting an ancient civilization of giants. This is backed up by countless tales from Norse, Indian, Mayan, Aztec, Incan, and Greek lore, as well as the Bible. Most amazingly, the 1912 discoveries had to have been over 27 feet tall to leave such a print behind, making the mere 13 feet of the Chinese discovery seem much more feasible by comparison. Number 7. Phillips excavation. A news article from 1912 details the excavation of a burial mound completed by the Phillips brothers at Lake Declan in Wisconsin. According to the New York Times, on May 4th, 18 giant skeletons that were carefully buried in charcoal and baked clay were uncovered from a presumed burial mound. The bones were said to be monkey-like in many ways, such as straight sloping eye sockets and a nasal placement higher than that of a human, but were obviously human bones. Many other alleged giant bones have been found in Wisconsin, with the New York Times also reporting skeletons found by a Smithsonian researcher in 1881 and one 9-foot skeleton found in Maple Creek years later in 1897. Certainly, such repeated results are at least some cause for interest and concern. Number 6. Ecuadorian giant remains. In 1964, several Ecuadorian locals called upon Father Carlos Vaca, a priest who worked with the local hospitals, after uncovering some strange bones in a mountainous area. After inspecting them, he determined they were likely human despite being incredibly large. The bones were taken to Austrian artifact researcher Klaus Dana, who allowed several experts to view the bones. They all came to the same conclusion. They likely belonged to a human who, based upon estimates, would have been over 25 feet tall. No DNA could be pulled from the bones during examination, leading the researchers to believe them to be over 10,000 years old at least. Dana also claims that the area where the bones were found has been called the Cemetery of the Giants by those local to the area, though this has not been proven. Number 5. Found at Varna. This particular discovery actually took place much more recently in Varna, Bulgaria. You see, Varna used to be the ancient Greek city of Odessos, which is known having a lot of mythology that talks about and has images of giants. So, it came as almost no surprise in January of 2015 that an incredibly large human skeleton was discovered. The skeleton appeared to be placed very delicately, with its hands on its waist and its head facing specifically to to the east. The only issue with this discovery is that no height has actually been publicly confirmed, giving suspicion to its legitimacy. Some people have speculated that the man may have simply been of above average height and was considered a spectacle when they were alive in ancient Greece, but others believe that this was a real giant that was spoken of as mythology. Number 4. Lovelock Cave. In 1911, two Nevada miners named David Hart and James Pugh took interest in the large deposits of bat feces, also known as guano, which they planned to sell for use in making gunpowder. During their digging, the two men uncovered some incredible archaeological finds and called upon Alfred Kroeber, the founder of the anthropology department at the University of California. Several normal-sized mummies were uncovered, as well as a few who were amazingly over 8 to 10 feet tall. Some sandals were also found that measured in at around 38 centimeters long, along with many giant-sized handprints embedded into the cave walls. Interestingly, the local Paiute Native American tribe spoke in lore of red-haired, white-skinned giants called Site-Cha, living in the Lovelock Cave system, where the mummies were discovered. Number 3. The Colorado River. In 1909, G.E. Kincaid was rafting on the Colorado River, where he found a large tunnel that took him about a mile underground. Within the tunnel, Kincaid found a very large Buddha-like statue, several tools such as spears, and ancient tablets with strange writing on them. He as well found the remains of people estimated to be about 9 feet in height. What makes this story very suspicious is that shortly after the discovery, the US government closed off that section of land, not allowing anyone else to see the potential findings. The Buddha statue led Kincaid to hypothesize that the giants had migrated from Asia thousands of years ago. Number 2. Egyptian giant finger. A recent find in March of 2012, a photo of what is believed to be a massive, mummified finger began to circulate on the internet and through news outlets. The finger measured in at over 15 inches long, meaning the former owner had to have been incredibly large in order to sport such a digit. Believed to have been taken by George Spory in 1988, the photo has never been proven real or false and is a source of heated debate among believers and critics. The story goes that Spory paid $300 to a grave robber to photograph the finger, after which the artifact has never been seen again. Spory returned to Egypt in 2009 to hunt down the man who has the finger, but has been unsuccessful so far. Stories of Egyptian giants date back to as early as the ancient Roman Empire, so perhaps the tale of the giant finger holds some truth. Number 1. The Giants of Death Valley. I don't know about you, but I'm personally not a fan of caves. So, if it were up to me, this discovery in 1931 would have never happened. A physician by the name of F. Bruce Russell discovered some tunnels and caves in Death Valley and decided to explore them with Daniel S. Bovee. And what they found was quite shocking, to say the least. For starters, this was not a little cave that Russell had found. In fact, they're about 180 square miles, and within them, they had first discovered what appeared to be kind of a ritual or religious hall. It was covered in markings and some type of hieroglyphics, but amongst the discoveries was something more unbelievable: 9-foot tall humanoid skeletons. It was a while until the story was in the news, being first reported in the San Diego Union in the summer of 1947. The remains had been mummified and were estimated to be around 80,000 years old. What's truly eerie is how the story faded away along with the giants' remains. Who knows what came of them? Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and also leave a comment below.